Okay, let's talk about the danger of staying in place, stagnation. Okay, now we've all heard the saying that you're either getting better or you're getting worse, and that there's no in between. But I sense that a lot of business leaders believe that they have a choice, that truly that it is, that it is okay to stay where they are and maintain. And I don't actually think that true maintaining actually exists. And in fact, there's actually no difference between doing worse and staying where you are, because the reality of it is the only way that staying where you are and staying stagnant as a business, maintain, the only way that that would actually work would be if all of your competitors also stayed stagnant and stayed right where they were. But the problem is we all know, and the reality is that our competitors, there's people in our industries, there's other business leaders that are going to grow, they're going to improve their teams, they're going to innovate, they're going to improve their marketing, whatever it is, and they are going to continuously get more and more and more competitive. And while you maintain and stay in place, every day you increasingly get less and less and less competitive. So you actually put yourself at a competitive disadvantage every single day that you stay in place. And so long as ambitious and committed law firm owners exist, no one is safe. You cannot simply coast. But what do, right? And I think this comes back to the concept of making marginal gains, because it's oftentimes not the big leaps that make the difference, it is the incremental improvements. So if you've ever seen the equation where it shows, okay, if you got 1% better every single day for a full year, by the end of that year, you would be 37 times better than when you started. Conversely, if you focused instead, let's say you kind of slacked, you had your foot off the gas and you got 1% worse every single day, by the end of that year, you would decline to zero. Okay? Now, in the beginning, sometimes we feel like there's basically no difference in, a 1% improvement every single day. You can't really see the difference between being 1% better and 1% worse on a day-to-day basis. But over time, these small improvements are what create the major gaps between you and your competition. And then it's the difference between making slightly better decisions on a daily basis versus slightly worse decisions. And every day those little decisions add up and add up and add up until there's a huge gap between your firm and the rest of your market and the rest of the competition you deal with. This is why small choices make such a big difference. Now, they may not make a difference in the short term, but they make a huge difference in the long term. So as a recap, like I said, yes, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And the only way that staying in place would ever work would be if all of your competition also stayed in place and stagnated. And we know that's not going to happen if for no other reason than you yourself being ambitious and committed, because you're going to grow and improve. And people like you, that no one is safe and no one can let their foot off the gas.